The set they built for that was incredible. With the garage set.
The heyday of situational comedy.
It was.
It was. Just now
and they made it look good. They really took a lot of pride.
Now it all looks the same, and it's like really bland.
It's an art form, dude.
It feels stilted.
It's an art form.
Like I feel the laugh trigger for some reason.
Well, they use laugh tracks a lot.
I feel like
terrible.
I'm watching this going, what is it? I can't put my
You can't use a
it.
laugh track for a half-hour comedy.
Yeah,
you either do single camera comedy, or if you do multi-camera, you have to have an audience. You cannot do a laugh track.
I know.
It is literally an essential character
100%.
to a half-hour comedy
100%.
with multi-cameras. Happy Friday, everybody! Welcome to the Brotherly Love Pod.
Here we are.
Yes, we are back. Hopefully you're with us, watching,
like old
listening.
faithful every Friday.
That's right.
We shoot our geysers off, and you come here to join us.
That sounded really strange.
It did. And just so you all know out there, for every listener, we have our resident snooze machine going under the table.
Yes, we do. Shmee is snoozing away.
Mr. Shmee.
It normally takes him a few minutes to
I
get
know,
into
this
a
time
deep
he just
sleep.
went right into it.
Went right in and said, you know what? You guys are futzing around, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut the old eyes. Hopefully this hour will go by quickest for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're so thankful that you're here. So thankful that you've been liking and subscribing on our YouTube, and membership keeps growing. We just love it. You know, the community just ever expands, and we're so thankful to you for that. I'm so thankful to be here. You know, guys, somebody was just telling me something do you know that this year, literally this year, is the 30th anniversary of Brotherly Love?
No.
What the yeah.
Wow.
I know.
30 years.
How is that possible?
I don't know, man.
I guess it premiered in the fall of 95, I want to say. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to get to talk about it even 30 years later.
30 years later.
Pretty
right?
wild.
Who would have thought? And we're still running
Now,
into
how crazy
people
is it going to be when it's
going like,
60 years?
That's going to be weird. And we're here. And we're here.
60.
We're here. We're like those knights from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You know when he gets into the
But the minute that we leave the podcasting table,
right,
we turn to dust.
Dust. Yeah, we can't leave. You have chosen wisely
This
to
table
tune in.
keeps us alive.
Yeah. I feel like that. You know, we go to pick up the sword and but yeah, can you believe that?
Crazy.
I know. They're like, happy 30th. I'm like, what did I do? They're like, it's the show. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And people still come up to us and say, it's really neat. Like it was their childhood. Because it kind of had two lives, that show.
It did.
You know, we had the show on NBC and then it went to Warner Brothers. But then it kind of restarted on the Disney Channel and was one of the first like live action series on the Disney Channel that kind of like exploded, you know, on that network and paved the way, you know, for Miley and all these other things. But I feel like it sort of had three little lives in the span of like a decade. So even though it came on in 95, it lived a good life till like 2005, you know? Lived a good life, that one.
I don't know.
Kept it alive, not one visit to the vet. Anyway. But that's, I heard that and I'm like, man, we've been doing this a long time.
Long
you know? Yeah.
road.
Right. Because you think about it. Okay, that's 30 years, right? I started 14 years before that.
Yeah, I know.
Right? So like, oh my gosh.
I know.
I'm old.
I know.
50 years old.
It's crazy.
No,
I
not 50.
I sometimes realize it.
Close.
I sometimes realize it every now and then when I have to pull out my SAG card. And my membership says, been a member since 84.
Right. Mine
like,
says
what?
mine says 81.
84?
Yeah,
I'm
mine
like,
says 81.
Makes
bro.
me feel so old.
I know.
Wow.
81,
weird.
bro. It is weird. This is your 40th year.
Oh my.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually 41st year.
Wow.
No, dude. How weird is that?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know. This is my 44th year.
Wow, man.
I know. Wild.
Long
I
time.
know. Andy just started last week.
Yeah,
he's done
just,
pretty good.
He just getting
Directed
into
a
it.
few films. No, but you know what's weird too is to hear people like, it's not weird, but it's cool when people like, and you know, they're always, there's so much goodwill out there toward us. And we're very lucky, obviously, you know, and to have been doing this as long as we have. And, you know, there's a lot of goodwill, right? A lot of people that have followed us for so long, right? And they mention so many different things that we've done. And every time, like do you ever see those cool things? And shout out to all you guys out there that create those little videos, right? Do you ever see the great just community out there that like, they'll send us a video of like,
well, I love it because
Rose of the Frontier that we
they
did.
find
right?
stuff that
yeah,
sometimes
that we
I haven't
seen
seen
in literally since it was on or since we did it.
Yeah.
And Macy's Days clips. And anyway, it's crazy the amount of time that they take putting that stuff together, and it brings back so many memories for me. I remember just specifically that movie that we did, Brothers of the Frontier.
Oh yeah,
right. And it's so cool because last year, remember, we saw Jonathan Frakes, who is a great actor and done so many things. I mean, that was one of like the small pin drop of all the great stuff that he's done. But he played our dad in that, and it was about a frontier family, right? That was just that got chased off their land. They had to find. It was great. But I remember we ran into him. We hadn't seen him, I don't think, since we had done the movie.
Probably not. No.
Okay, so that was what, 97? I think we did that movie, something like that. 96, 97?
Something like that. Yeah. No, there's no way I was 17 on that set.
So 95? Is that possible we did that 95?
Because
I was 6.
he was 6.
So 95. Yeah. Wow. Okay. And Shmi just launched an air biscuit. So
nice.
In his comatose sleep, he just released.
I smell roses. What about you?
I definitely don't smell.
I don't smell anything, but I think it's because the draft is going that way.
Well, his. Oh yeah. Yep. It's incredible.
Okay. It's okay. Let's continue on with the Brothers of the Frontier, Joe.
You can taste it.
Come on, Joe.
No. But anyway, I remember we shot that up in Vancouver, and one of the scenes that was crazy to me was, you remember when they actually loaded us on, because we didn't do green screen on that. Remember when they actually loaded us onto that huge raft that they built?
No, we definitely did green screen.
No, we did some green screen.
Yeah.
We did?
Bad green screen, if I remember correctly.
You're going to have a big foot in the
Did we?
mouth in a few seconds.
I think so.
Yeah, remember we filmed in the same tank that they filmed Titanic?
Yeah, that's right.
We did a tank shot, but I don't think
we did a
I'm
tank
talking about
shot.
on that raft. I don't think we were on that raft. We were actually on that
No,
river.
we were actually
We
on
did.
the raft,
We did.
and we rode the river.
Yes.
But then when we were
they
in
cut
the
into
tank,
White Rapids.
Oh,
that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
us.
yeah.
In
we
fact,
were in a
Yeah,
green
we were in a tank.
we were in a tank.
Right.
green
Okay.
screen.
Okay. But I'm saying that raft itself.
Ah, look at this.
That raft
So this
itself.
was made in 1815. This was recently
Either way,
colorized
though,
because it
his
was
work is
filmed
known.
in black and white.
Yes, we colorized it with
So anyway,
Technicolor.
continue on with your story before we play a clip.
We're gonna watch. I want to see a little bit of this old.
Wait, Sam just pulled this up. Okay,
Wow.
that's real footage.
Oh my goodness, this is.
That
We
is
were-
tank.
that's tank.
See the hoses?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
real.
real.
That's real.
That's us.
Yeah, that's us.
That's
tank.
That's us. Real.
Yep.
They really threw us out there.
That's the.
I think that's us.
That's us.
That's definitely us.
That's not us.
That's not us. I'm telling you, as it got heavier and heavier, they were not going to let us into those
But
rapids.
but
The stunt coordinators.
yeah,
and
but
stuff.
they did that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the production budget for this little movie is insane. Like, we're.
No,
I mean, get away with real people doing this rafting is actually right.
that's when
Andy.
they made like real movies.
Crazy.
Like they didn't. Think
That's the tank. Oh,
Oh, this was fun.
this was fun. You remember how cold the water
it was really
so cold.
because it was a glacier runoff.
Wow, interesting. There's
Yay!
Jonathan
Oh my
Frakes.
gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, this movie's so old.
The river scene.
This movie's 30 years old.
the river was not. Look, the river was not. I mean, it got crazy.
Yeah.
and they had the stunt guys on there with us. But even when we did it, I mean, you think about today. I don't even know if they would have done that. Like they put us out there on those rafts.
Yeah.
we didn't have safety boats or anything like that. I mean, there was a follow raft with the camera equipment, but we were on that raft, dude. It was crazy. There was wilderness everywhere out there. You remember that? We saw the bears.
Talking
And,
about the wilderness. Yeah, I remember there was one. We had a night shoot because I think it was like a
You and I
campfire.
did. We had a you
We
and
had
I
a
got
campfire.
separated from Joe.
That's right. We had a campfire.
Matt and I had a campfire
night scene.
scene.
freezing, right?
Well, it was cold, but it was in the middle of the forest, and it was that forest up there is actually part of one of the only oh gosh, not tropical, the opposite of tropical, the deciduous rainforest.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So it's
have to-
gorgeous, and it comes alive at night.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And I was out in the forest, and they were on Andy, like a coverage thing with Andy. And I was out in the forest, and I guess I was like pretending like I was like, some jungle creature out at night, like I'm crawling through things. And I guess I made noise over one of his shots. And the director didn't know it was me out
You were being
in the forest.
unprofessional. It's crazy. I never thought that. Kidding. Go ahead. Sorry.
The director,
And he was trying to get his lines, and I was just,
I was
reverting to my primal instinct.
self.
climbing up in a tree.
It's true. It's true.
Matt would do that on pretty much every set
He would.
It's true.
He'd
Yeah.
disappear.
we've ever been on.
So, and then I remember everybody got angry and they started screaming
Of course
out
they
into
were.
the forest. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was me.
No, and
So-
so Matt felt like a real predator.
So I ran off. just to teach everybody a lesson.
Oh,
I ran off into the forest, and then everyone was looking for me, and the director had to come, and like he came into the trailer.
no, they didn't.
Yes, and he was like, "What's happened?" And we had to have this whole conversation of you can't do that, and there was apologies and all that.
I had to write an apology letter, everybody. Because my parents made me.
Before we move on from Brothers of the Frontier, you guys have to stay here for a second.
No.
All right, we'll stay here.
No.
Where are you going? Oh my gosh, you're leaving.
Oh,
if you're watching
what?
right now, Andy is
heading
Andy
into
has
the
gotten up.
garage.
He just pulled up his pants.
I think he thought about something he wanted to find.
Yeah, he's going into
In
the
the
garage in the
garage.
studio. What
Yeah.
an idiot.
Well,
But
so you know,
yeah,
there you have it. It's a garage behind us,
what are
folks.
you doing, Andy?
This is
he
the
just
base-
knocked over the tree. This is a disaster.
Yeah, this episode.
Wow, this episode we can't air this.
No, we can't have
This is
It's
unairable.
falling apart.
It will go on our premium feed. No, but you know, man. Honestly, I remember. Do you remember when we fell off the rafts and we had to get in out of the water? Do you remember when we came out of the water? We
Oh
had
my
those.
gosh.
Dude, it was freezing. They had those heat tents, but it was, and we were in
Really?
those. What the skins?
Yeah,
Like they were. Do you remember how much they weighed?
it was a wetsuit basically
Yeah.
underneath
Oh
our clothes because
my-
it
Yes.
was that cold. You couldn't be in it.
But we
You'd
had
get
those
hypothermic.
cowhide jackets.
Well, that stuff got heavy.
Dude,
Oh.
they got so heavy. All that leather. You come out of the water, you're like, ah, dude,
Yeah, I
that
know.
was
I know.
crazy stuff.
And having that experience, and that's why I get so frustrated. I talked about this before, but that's why I get so frustrated watching frontier movies or outdoor movies where people will, in frigid climates, just go and walk in the glacial streams and
Right,
stuff and,
right.
and
They
come
didn't.
out and not build a fire and be fine.
They didn't do that.
You would literally get a couple minutes after you do something
Yeah.
like that. Like
You'd
it's
have
actually
to-
an emergency.
You'd have to. Yep.
It's an emergency if you go, what is this?
That's not the coat from the movie, is it?
Is it really? No.
Dude, are you kidding me?
That's not the coat from the movie.
It's my coat. 'Cause-
I have
What?
Wait, you have mine?
And mine.
No.
No way.
Do we have a picture of me in that jacket by any chance?
Whoa, are you kidding me? Dude.
I ride my Harley in it now.
You're out of breath. Where was it?
Guys, if you have any idea what I had to barrel through to get this
Look
jacket.
at this. So we wore these, and they were completely drenched, and you're walking out of
we
a
had a-
glacier. We had other versions.
I think we had a couple of them.
Yeah, we did.
And if you rocked that, you could start a
am.
whole fashion trend. It
dude,
actually fits you
I am.
now.
I know. No,
Well,
I actually wear this.
You should actually.
I do.
It's
Wait,
super
where's
cool.
mine?
I have it. But
Why
yours
don't-
is too big. Yours is huge.
Yeah, yours is like, and it's like brown.
This is the coolest one. I have mine too. I have my whole outfit, but mine's tiny because I was
course.
6. I tried to fit in.
Joe
I
would love it
realized-
now, actually.
I
Yeah,
could totally.
Joe
fit
would
in
rock
it.
that one. Joe would rock the 6-year-old version of. But isn't this jacket ridiculous?
It's super cool.
Ridiculous.
I know.
Where did you have that hidden? It smells like. It smells good. Yeah, it actually smells good.
Like what?
Like clean.
It smells
leather.
like it smelled when we put it on back then.
Yeah.
Because that's it's a treated rawhide. I mean, it's.
Oh
been-
man, it brings me back. To
You know
the
that
old-
you know that
brings me back to.
you know how they
Vancouver.
used to tan
like
in their
do you think?
the skins of animals to create the clothing and everything. You pee on it.
Come on.
I'm not kidding. That's
I'm
how they
gonna
used to do
I'm
it.
gonna take the
Urine-
jacket off.
Urine is, and then they would string it out and dry it, and that's how you get.
You do that with your All Saints jacket.
That's what it smells like. Matt actually did that to this
Why
jacket.
all my All Saints jackets smell
Still
like
great.
Musk.
no, smell like one of the alleyways between 3rd and 4th Street
Yeah,
downtown.
downtown. Because I
Yeah.
pissed on them. But look at the leather. Guys, take a look at this.
I thought this
Beautiful,
jacket's
beautiful
cool.
leather.
It actually is real. I can't believe that it hasn't disintegrated.
No, it's pretty.
It's incredible.
This
Those
jacket's-
things
last,
Look at the
man.
seams.
This
dude.
jacket is 30 years old,
It looks perfect.
and it looks like
It's incredible.
almost as
actually.
it did when we were. I mean, it really is.
It's a little
It's
faded,
perfect.
but it's been through the works.
It's been through the river rafting and
Through the fire.
Yep.
fighting cowboys.
It's crazy.
Pioneer days.
Well, that
fellas.
was really a fun project. The weather up there was incredible. You remember that? It was like I just remember it being like cold but crystal clear. So many days. Like we didn't run into like a lot of inclement weather. It was just
Yeah, we were lucky.
it was really
because
cold.
they usually get a lot of.
I
inclement
know,
weather.
but we were. It was incredible. Those backdrops where we shot. I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
wow,
Yeah.
so picturesque. And
Well,
so
that was
incredible.
back in
That was
the
the si-
day when people were just discovering
Yeah,
how much there was in Canada to use for the film industry.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're right,
when
mid-90s.
we weren't like even in the first, but I mean that was the first wave, I'd say.
it was definitely
of everybody moving films up to
Definitely.
Vancouver. And then after that moment, LA got scared because most productions were pouring into Vancouver.
Well, because back then
after
too,
that.
and I think it's pretty good now, but back then too, like the dollar was so strong against the
That's right.
Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
It was almost like 2/3.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, like if you
It
had
was 2/3.
yeah, one of our dollars was $3 or $4 up there. It was
it was.
crazy.
Remember they had the loonies?
I'll never
Those little
forget.
dollar coins.
I'll never
I used to love those.
I'll never forget.
Loons?
I went up.
Loonies?
Loonies. I think it's loonies. I'm not sure.
Speaking of the strength of the dollar to the Canadian, I went up there in that period to do a movie for about 6 weeks. And when you do these movies, when you're out of the country or if you go to a different town, they give you a thing called per diem, which is a daily amount. Which this was in the good old days. They still do it, but not to the extent that they used to do.
They treat you.
They give you per diem because honestly, if you're going to a different country, it means you're in a hotel room, so you can't prepare your own food. So you have to actually, go out and get foods and all this kind of stuff. And so it actually adds up very quickly. So they give you this per diem. And I remember I was putting it in a drawer. I was like, in the hotel, you have a drawer, I had underwear. And then I was just putting it all in there. And I honestly, I was like, I'm not going to use $1 of the per diem. I'm going to try to really get by here with catering on this, see what I can do with this. I just kept putting it in there. And then finally, I wasn't even thinking the project, because you're really concentrating on the movie. The project's coming to an end. And I'm like, okay, wow, I'm sad. 6 weeks, I got to pack up. I start packing up and open the drawer. And it looked like something out of a gangster film.
Yeah.
All this Monopoly money comes piling out.
Well, Canadian money does look fake.
Full of Canadian Monopoly money. And I didn't know what to do with it.
That's crazy.
Because now I went further than I should have gone with it because I should have been spending it there.
Of course.
So I didn't know because the exchange rate is
terrible.
So I actually lost money doing that.
That's so
But in the
funny.
end of the day, I had this, I'll never forget this drawer.
What if you like, and
full of
I
Monopoly
always
money.
do that. Whenever I check into a hotel, I put all the money in a drawer. And every listener out there, it's my thing.
It's my
I find a
thing.
drawer and I throw a lot of cash in it.
Always the second drawer.
Right next to my socks. You idiot.
And then I usually stash the room key right above. Wait, what?
Here's a little trick, guys.
Here's a little trick.
Yeah. No, you know what's crazy?
You don't want to carry it in your pocket. You can lose it anywhere.
On that note, like, my wife always watches these housewife shows, right? And I have to tell you, they are kind of engaging at times. This is a side note, but they're always talking about their money and the jewels and the bag,
my Lord.
and they constantly get robbed.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no
They
crap, guys. I got a
constantly
problem.
get robbed.
Oh my gosh. This is the
is
episode of interruptions. Keep talking. It's okay. He's out of control. Just close the door, Matt, so we don't hear it. Here we go.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Is this a joke?
He pieced the door open. He's born in a barn.
Okay. All
Go
right.
ahead.
Anyway, no, I was just saying, bro, they were talking about their like Birkin bags and all these like 10, 20,000. They constantly get robbed. Constantly. And I'm going to myself, why are you talking about all of these things you have that you keep in your house, that you keep in your closet? I mean, it's not right. It's terrible. Anyway, that just reminded me of
I
when he
have
was selling
nothing,
his money.
nothing of value.
No, I would never do that.
Except this jacket,
God,
which I wear.
keep under my bed.
I wear it on me at all times.
Oh my! You have to take this off of my cold dead carcass. Oh my gosh! Well, anyway, that was fun.
I hear the pitter patter of Matt's flip flops.
Grande latte. Does it to me every time.
and some prostate issues, but we'll get into that later. We'll dive into that next week.
Yeah.
All right, so wait. You know what we did around this? I remember.
What'd I miss?
I remember that we actually
whole
kind
episode.
of. Well, yeah, pretty much. We kind of jumped out of order here because I want to talk about the pilot of Brotherly Love because that was actually filmed right before we did this movie.
You're right.
I know this because I
Yes.
got attacked by a dog
Oh, my
at the end of this movie. 2 dogs, actually. It was wild. Remember on the set, I got attacked by that first. We talked about this before. I got attacked by the show dog because the director was just grabbing the dog and like throwing him.
Yes, he bit you on
So
your
the
cheek.
dog tried to bite the director, but the director pulled his hand away, and then the dog bit my cheek. Director felt terrible though. I'll never forget watching him run to get ice. He really, he was a nice guy, and he actually did a good job considering. That's yeah. Anyway, so he felt terrible, and then like 3 days later, I got mauled by a bull mastiff.
Crazy.
But I digressed, and oh yeah, the point is because when we went back to Brotherly Love, I had stitches and stuff. But
That's right.
But and you know what's funny? From that point, Andy realized that when you have eyeballs the size of his,
Hide a lot
can't
underneath it.
stare dogs eye to
you know,
eye.
because they get very nervous.
They get very nervous because they go, "Whoa, those are big eyeballs staring at me."
What is this son of a bitch staring at me for? With these big eyes.
windows to the soul. Now I just melt animals with my stare.
Oh my, yeah. Allow me to cook that meat with my eyes. You said that on the pilot of Brotherly Love, right? Remember when he runs in his Wolverine?
Oh yeah.
Allow me to cook meat.
And then I dance as Elvis.
That's right. Oh my!
Wow, look at this. I
think so.
This was filmed in 1901. Well, here we go.
Wow. Look at that.
Hello?
Look at those sets, man.
Let me see if he's here. Matt? Matt, it's Andrea. I'm not here. God, Mom, please. I can't seem to find him. I'll tell him that you called. Bye-bye.
I love that jacket. Look at that. Where is that jacket? Why did we get that leather jacket?
I don't like.
It's awesome.
He's got it somewhere.
Somewhere.
Stupid, okay?
We could just have to get them remade or something.
She asked me if I wanted to be in it.
Sick.
With a racing
Why would
patch.
you say yes?
Because she talked to me. The 7th prettiest girl in the school talked to me.
The 7th prettiest.
I have a list.
I have a list.
And she would like the fact if I would say yes, but I can't. And every day she goes, "How's the act?" And I go, "Great," but I can't. The next day she goes,
Oh, I remember
"How's the
this
act
line. I
going?"
hated
go,
this
"Great,
frickin'
working
line.
on it." I got nothing, Mom. I mean, I'm freaking out.
Well, honey, you have a lot of talents. I remember a little boy who did quite a little dance to the Happy Days theme.
Mom, are you trying to get me beat up?
Trying to get me killed.
Don't worry, Wolverine will protect you.
Can I kill him?
Man, I have told you before I need the deduction.
Andy's wearing the old school Wolverine outfit.
know.
Dinner
With the cow.
Allow me to cook some meat with my eyes.
Hey, there it is. Oh, good.
Yep.
Wow.
So, guys, you want to know something crazy?
What?
That jacket? Wait here.
No.
I don't have it. I wish.
Get
I
outta
wish I
here.
That would
did,
have
but
been amazing
would've
if you
been
pulled
crazy.
that one out.
That would have been amazing.
We'll have to
Well, there you go.
remake
Brotherly
it.
love.
You're right, dude. The set they built for
Oh
that
my
was
God, it was
incredible. Oh, with the garage
the
set
heyday of situational comedy.
It was. It
You know,
was.
just
And
now
they
it's
made it
just-
look good. They really took a lot
Now
of
it
pride.
all
in
looks
making
the same, and
I
it's
know.
like really bland.
really bad.
I checked out, and I love Tim Allen, so I'm not saying anything about it. But
Oh
I
yeah,
checked out
Shifting
his
Gears
new
or whatever that
show,
news call. Yeah.
and I don't know what's wrong with it. I couldn't tell you, but like it just feels bland. It has no
Yeah.
teeth. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing like. I don't know. It doesn't have like a vibe. Something's off.
I know. Like
And I don't know what it is.
when you used to
too.
watch Cheers, it had like a vibe.
Yeah,
Like
and
that bar set felt real.
like it feels like there's like this film,
Yeah.
this little film over everything.
I
I
wonder
don't
if-
know what it is. It just doesn't feel clean
A
and
lot of it's
crisp.
digital. I mean, we shot that on tape.
No, I
You know,
know,
that
yeah.
was not digital.
Yeah.
I feel like digital's tough, man. It cleans it up so much. It makes it feel real fake.
You almost need to like really pop because like I think what it is that their overhead sets are very fluorescent. Did you notice that
Yeah.
they're very like bluish light?
They are.
I think they need to pump pop the lighting on that show because if it's going to be digital, then punch it, man. Like
I know.
have a more orangey sun stripe coming through the back of that
Right,
sitcom
like really make
set.
it feel good.
Something.
I
It just
know.
I'm watching it going like
They
light it all.
What
up.
are we-
this
what are we
is
talking
so
about?
bland.
The new Tim Allen show.
It's just the look of it.
I saw the
I'm not
promo
saying show,
for it. Yeah.
It's just bland. And I'm going to be honest, the timing feels a little stilted.
It's an art form, dude.
It feels stilted.
It's an art form.
Like I feel the laugh trigger for some reason.
Well, they
Like,
use laugh tracks a lot.
I feel like
Terrible.
I'm watching this going, what is it? I can't put my
You can't
finger
use
on
a
it.
laugh track for a
It's
half hour
not-
comedy.
Yeah, there's something.
Got to be live audience.
Something not right here, and I don't know what it is, but
You either do single camera comedy, or if you do multi-camera, you have to have an audience. You cannot do a laugh track.
I know.
That is not something you skate around.
No.
It is literally an essential character
100%.
to a half-hour comedy
100%.
with multi-cameras.
100%.
Like you do a Modern Family, for everybody out there, that's like a single camera.
Single camera, that
it's shot
works.
more like a movie. That works.
Fine.
But when you do classic comedy, like we all grew up with, like Friends, these Seinfeld, these shows, like, dude, you have to have a live audience.
Gotta have a
have to.
live
Mhm.
And so many of
absolute
these shows
essential.
today, the actors don't want to do it either. They're like, no, it's cool. I'm telling you, one of the things that I'm so glad that when we did Melissa and Joey, I was so thankful that Melissa was lockstep with me on this. We said, because they were already trying to say, like, I think we can do it without the live audience. We'll use the laugh track. And Melissa and I both said, because we were EPs in that show, you know, we were producers of that show and everything. So we said, nope, we're not doing it unless we have a live audience. And that live audience is what made that show work.
Of course.
Yes. Otherwise, it would have felt
I know.
especially on ABC Family at the time, like a lot of their half hours were not good. I mean, because they didn't use live audiences.
There's a moment on a sitcom where you have to do these swing sets, which is where these moments you punch out to a baseball field, whatever it is, and you have a swing set, which means it's a set that the audience can't see.
They're not in front of it.
They're not in front of it. It's around the side because it's bigger, whatever that situation is. And when you have these swing sets, sometimes they'll pre-record them.
Yes.
Now, the problem that we found when we were doing it is that even then, you'd use these laugh tracks and it was like,
didn't work.
Stick out. So what would they do? They would play it back
for the audience.
And then they would record their laughter.
Record the real laughter.
Record the real laugh track.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which would then give them the opportunity to go, oh my gosh, that moment needs more air.
Yeah.
We can slide a little bit of someone else's coverage or reaction in there.
Also, laugh, much bigger laugh than we thought.
Absolutely. Also, do you remember that, and you knew when to hold for a laugh and up, but do you remember that, I don't know when, I think just the cadence of the laugh track too, like there were genuinely smaller laughs back in the, like every laugh wasn't the same. It wasn't the same note.
No, exactly.
Everything wasn't just some really funny hit joke. And I feel like now all the laugh tracks, it's like one sample. I feel like it's one
like they
thing
do it
that
on Pro Tools or whatever, or Logic, and
that's what I'm
they
saying.
fade up and fade out, so it goes
and
it's this weird,
and it's the same level every time. You're like,
one of my
there's nothing
things
organic. It really
is when
bothers
it was
me.
really working, and we did this a lot on Melissa and Joey too. We did it on Blossom, we did it on Brotherly Love. It started with, I mean, dude, like Happy Days and these shows, but like I Love Lucy. But like, for instance, a laugh would trail, especially on like Blossom. Joey Russo would say something and the laugh would trail and they go, ha, and then at the end they go like, woo, and you hear somebody in the audience do like a cat call and they'd leave it. And it made it feel so good because it was like so interactive. It felt live. It felt live because it was live kind of. And it really was theater. It really was live theater. You know, it was not so polished. And to your point, Matt, like in the new world, the new Tim Allen thing, it's digital. It's so polished. It's so crisp. It's so robotic that it doesn't feel organic anymore. And that's the biggest difference. And let me tell you some friends too. You'd hear certain people, the stage manager, who was the guy who was managing the cameras like on the stage with you, you could hear his laugh when he would laugh.
Yeah,
you could hear it from our shows.
Of course.
And you could tell. You'd hear one of the producers go, ha ha, that would be slightly louder than the audience, and they left it. And that kind of stuff made it feel so good.
And you know what? I another issue that I feel like is also occurring, maybe even with this show that we're talking about, is that it's kind of similar to like a basketball team, right? You go out there in the signing or the free agency, and you go, "Let me get all these superstars, put them on one team. We're going to be unbeatable, unstoppable." And then you get them all together, and their chemistry is terrible, and they're losing to teams that are chemistry is good that have no superstars. You're like, what is going on? What is going on? And, until they gel, right? I think that's kind of happening now with sitcom. They're trying to go out to actors, and they're going, okay, we got Tim Allen, Sean, William Scott, all these people. You're, oh my gosh, it's in your mind
because he's on that too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, in your mind,
Stifler.
This is oh my god, in your mind, you're going, this is going to be amazing.
Stifler's funny, Tim Allen's funny. They're great.
Get all these what you think is A's in these positions. It's going to be amazing, and the chemistry isn't there.
Dwayne Wade, LeBron.
That's another thing I'm
the
noticing.
Dream Team.
But that's another thing I'm noticing with this show, and a lot of other sitcoms that are kind of doing that in the more modern era. And then you realize, wait a minute, you look back at these things, Friends, all these shows. Those actors weren't established beforehand.
Not really, no.
And they got cast, I guarantee you, because they did a thing called chemistry reads, which were huge.
They barely do it anymore, dude.
No, I know.
They don't do
which
it.
were huge when they were casting television shows. You had to go through an audition, a callback, a producer session. Screen test.
Then a chemistry
read.
Even if you got the part, they would narrow it down. And if for some reason your chemistry wasn't good with... You could still lose the part because it wasn't even that you were the best. It was how you really fit in with everybody else.
The best.
It doesn't matter if you were
lying
off
about
of another
best.
huge hit show.
Winners go home and
didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
And that another thing has been incredibly lost.
It's a dying. They don't
chemistry
do it.
reads are everything.
Well, to me, it's all backwards now, and we've digressed into a conversation about our weird industry in which we work, but they also save casting till the last minute now, right? Yeah. It's like everything else. We'll just, get me somebody, and the problem is like if you don't have the right cast, I don't care how good the writing is.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
It's not going to work.
Nope. Why a
I'm-
lot of these movies today don't work.
My
opinion.
a really incredible experience I had when it comes to chemistry reads and why I just fully believe in it. And it's such a shame that they're not, utilizing it more. Was I did a chemistry read for this movie called Hot Chick with Rachel McAdams.
Oh yeah.
Rachel hadn't done anything.
Right.
She was like,
and she's great.
brand new. Now wait.
Yep.
Now this is a movie, comedy, football.
Well, and also
testosterone, raunchy.
yeah.
Adam Sandler, Rob
Like
Schneider,
blue
right?
collar comedy.
Blue collar, right? The typical cast would have been the blonde bombshell.
Right.
Then the studio
Would have been like the Anna Faris or something.
No. Anna Faris was in Hot Chick.
No, I know, but like I'm saying, but in that part.
Terrible thing.
No,
No,
but in that part.
No, she was never would have been considered. She was the ditzy friend. That was she
yeah.
was great at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No, the role would have been the bombshell. I mean, like the blonde bombshell. That's what they wanted. That was why the script was written.
Right.
The studio was locked in on that.
Okay.
And of course,
So like who? Like
So
who
there's-
would you have put in it?
no, wait, hold on.
Okay.
Let me finish the story.
All right.
So we have a chemistry read. We have a chemistry read, and the network, the studio has their choice, and it's just a bombshell of a girl, right? And then there was another very attractive sort of bombshell of a girl, and then Rachel McAdams, unknown. They didn't think she had a shot in heck, And during the chemistry reads, we were really working well together,
Right.
and I was like, honestly, I mean. She's not wearing any makeup, but she's so cute. And sure enough, they go over the tapes, and we're combing over the tapes. And we're sitting there, we're watching them, and they're trying to go to the bombshell, like what should be cast. And every time we can't get past how this little thing just kind of sparkles on film. And I give it to Adam Sandler. He was like, no, we're going to go with what we feel and not what, everyone thinks. And they cast Rachel, and after that, she goes on to become such.
Rachel is better. Stop looking at me, Swan. You're like Adam. What the? No, yeah.
So that right there, my point is, if there wasn't a chemistry read, she never would have been cast.
correct. That
Never.
happens so much.
Never would have been cast. No way. She didn't have anything under her belt. She wasn't a bombshell. She was this like.
There were much.
Do we have a clip from Hot Chick where you are doing something? Or don't we have?
Oh yeah. Oh, this moment from Hot Chick. Yeah. This is. I was so uncomfortable doing this, but to this day, people still come up to me and ask me to do this.
What is this?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I remember Adam and Rob Schneider teaching me to do this. By the way.
What a routine.
What is she doing? Oh my god.
that was a.
Big shout out to Rob Schneider and John Schneider and the
Yeah.
Schneiders and everybody.
Yeah, we became like very close for a while there with the Schneiders.
I was such a huge fan of Deuce. Do you remember how many times I watched Deuce Bigelow?
Bigelow?
Oh my gosh. That movie, I love that movie.
movie's so funny.
So freaking
You know,
much.
honestly,
Rob was the best.
Rob
When
was
you got
great.
Hot Chick, dude, I was so stoked.
I know.
You have a great
Adam's cameo in that.
Oh,
It was
dude,
hilarious.
you could put your read in there.
I still say
Dude,
that
me
every
too.
now and
So
then.
good. Whenever there's a little
Randomly,
box,
yeah, there's a
whenever
little box.
anything to hide
Dude,
anything
yeah,
in, dude.
yeah,
You have a really good and
so
everybody on the movie was so good. Rachel, that was Anna Faris. Rachel was like you said was so good.
Yeah.
You have a really good. Didn't she tell you some really, or there was like a really good Ryan Gosling. Rachel.
Oh well, no.
Speaking of the Notebook, jumping off that story
during this filming process, she was actively auditioning and then auditioning for the Notebook.
Right.
And I had told her previously on set that I was like, you got to do a period film. I was like, this is like crazy. And so she came up and she's like, you're not going to believe this, but there's this period movie, this and that. It's called The Notebook. Cassavetes, and everyone on set was pulling for her and helping her and this and that. And then, of course, she books it.
Yeah.
Right now, we remain
Did you
friends.
tell her, can you put in a good word for me?
Yeah,
maybe
seriously, I
I
was
can
like-
lead. But not gonna get this guy from the Mickey Mouse Club, are they?
It's
This
so funny.
Mickey Mouse Club freak.
But no, he had worked a lot.
I know.
Anyway, but
I know.
So and then of course we stayed friends after shooting, and she gets the movie. She's talking to me about the filming process and how no matter how hard she tries, she can't get along with Ryan Gosling.
Really?
And she was like, he's not being nice to me, and she would call me and she was upset, and she was having a really, really hard time
Really?
with him on set.
Interesting.
Right? It's not going well. And for everybody out there, of course, The Notebook, you see these two and you think the chemistry between these two.
brilliant.
Well,
Yeah.
so the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
He's not really being that great.
Who, by the way, I love.
So
Ryan
the
Gosling's awesome.
movie wraps and he goes up to her and he's like, and she tells me the story and he's like, I'm sorry, I had to. We were lacking chemistry. So that fire that you see, that is because he was behind the scenes really being, kind of a stick in the mud to Rachel. Now, what happens after?
Fast forward and
they start dating and
they fall in love for a while.
So it was a smart move. But to be honest, he almost pushed her to the limit of what she was able to handle.
Because there's a lot of tension in
there's
that.
A lot of
feel that tension
too. There's a lot of tension.
And he couldn't feel it.
Ryan Gosling is a great actor.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
He's one of the best.
Isn't he great?
He is great.
He is.
I know.
He's great.
Gosling's
I love the fact that he
can play comedy too, which I love.
Dude, I love the fact that he came from the Mickey Mouse Club. Honestly,
Me too,
I love
dude.
it.
Me too, bro.
Because that's a testament to because we always get we've been doing this so long that it's been tough at times because people are like you're like the Disney Channel guy, you're Blossom, and you're from Boy Meets World, you're
I think people need to get over that. I mean, you got Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling, and the Lawrence brothers.
I mean, honestly, look, I even love. That's why honestly, I always rooted
the
for
Jonas
Brothers because
dude,
they tried to pigeonhole them too and say you guys are over, your little teen band, you never. And they came back. Well,
Just
Nick
keep going.
really paved the way, and then he went back with his brothers, and I love that.
Yeah,
I love that he. So I always root for them, and I love that Ryan has become one of the premier actors of our generation.
Absolutely,
because
dude.
He's one of the best.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's
he really
literally
is awesome.
great in everything.
He's so
He's
good.
just great.
I even watched The Fall Guy, which was like the movie was like okay. He was
The
great.
show
in it.
was so good.
Wait, hold on.
The original
That line-
Fall Guy show was
great.
awesome.
Talk about Ryan Gosling being able to pull off comedy.
Dude.
That line when he was like, your brain literally is fueled by sugar.
yeah.
It's
It's so-
cooked.
That
was
scene when he's in
unbelievable.
that yellow
Dude,
suit.
he's
Oh my gosh.
amazing.
Dude, he actually
Amazing.
That's not easy to do.
He is one of the only actors that pulls off a moment that reminds me of who I think is probably one of the only actors that can do this. He has a Nick Cage moment in that movie.
He does.
Where
Yes,
he's
dude.
on drugs,
He does.
like hallucinating. I think it was that movie. Was it that movie?
Yes.
And
He's
he's
on
about
that-
to run
yes.
into a car and he's like, get yourself together. And he's like talking to him.
Yes.
It was unbelievable the way he did it. I was so
Now, he's-
impressed because not many actors can ever do that
Pull that
except Nick
stuff off.
Cage.
That
I know.
was
He's great. He's great. Anyway, that's a cool story because I
Yeah.
thought what a cool act, what a cool
That's
technique.
cool.
So he
to pull that out of another actor.
He took that upon himself.
risky because it could
On that-
backfire.
It could totally. And to be honest, even riskier now.
Well, he's actually very lucky.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
because
Now
when I
would have
say
been.
he really pushed her, I mean,
Yeah.
tears.
Well,
dude.
now
She was not happy
Now,
at
it would've
all
been-
on that set.
He would have been lit up on social media.
I
And the movie
know.
would have been.
But how cool is that? That not only did he succeed at that, but it worked. Their
Well, he also-
chemistry was fire
He
because
also
he was
chose
creating fire
he also-
behind the
He
scenes.
also got lucky. He chose the right actor to do that with because she
Ended up
and you know
respecting
her
it.
very
Yeah.
well. I mean, obviously, but she's a very kind person.
Yes.
Very kind
So
person.
Yes.
you're not going to get and very little ego.
Very little.
Yeah.
You know, so she took it in and wanted to be better somehow. Or like, how can I get through to this guy?
Yeah.
Instead of a lot of actors today, you'd be like, no one's going to treat me like that. And then their ego flares up, and then it's the battle of the egos, and forget it. Even if you didn't intentionally want it to be, you know. So he got lucky, and it was a different time, and it worked out. And
Yeah,
it
really
was lightning in a bottle, which is why
And also,
that movie
she
turned out the way it was.
So Hot Chick hadn't come out,
Right.
so she was still
Right,
This
kind of like-
this
yeah.
fresh actor,
Yeah.
just in from Toronto, and you know,
yeah, crazy man.
so he thought he
Crazy.
really needed to, you know,
It's crazy,
Wow.
and she's got
get
range
her,
too.
get her sea legs
She's
quickly
got range too
because
because she was funny in Wedding Crashers.
dude.
There was a lot of moments in
I know
that
she's
that
got
were.
range.
Dude, Wedding Crashers was so good.
Wedding Crashers is produced by our dear friend Andrew Panay, but
Best.
Yeah.
What a comedy
dude,
up
it
there in
never
the top. I'd
ages.
put in the top 10 of
all time,
all-time R-rated comedies.
all time, dude.
time.
Honestly, it's
Yep.
like top 3.
Yeah, there's some really
I
brilliant.
mean,
moments.
it's
The best.
brilliant.
Big shout out to Mr. Panay because he's the best.
Andrew Panay, guys,
Here we
guys,
go,
AP,
here we go,
guys,
The
here we
best.
go, we go.
He's done some amazing movies.
He has over an incredible career.
Yep.
Incredible. Anyway,
She's still going, man.
Yep. That's the name of the game is just to continue on going. I remember some of our best work was in Brotherly Love, actually. Andy was incredible when he wanted me to dress up as Batman. And remember because we were still getting to know each other, right? Because I was like the brother that you guys didn't really know. And I remember he made me take him out on town. We were fixing, I don't know how the Batmobile got into the garage, but either we were fixing it or was in there from, remember that?
That was so
The
much
original
fun.
Batmobile from the TV show.
Yep.
Way before all of our time. But I remember he was convinced that he was going to go out on the town in a mission, and then I was like, no, we're not doing that. And then I actually surprised him, or my character surprised him, and we went out on a little excursion. But people still talk about this moment.
Grappling hook?
Yeah. The worst Batman outfit ever.
I love it. Amazing. Andy, you sleep through everything.
Yeah, he does.
Deep, deep sleeper.
Andy.
Joe?
Yeah. Ready for an adventure?
Ready? I was born ready.
He's Robin. He sleeps in his
outfit. What are you, prairie dog man?
Want to call it off?
You look fabulous. So, where are you?
Once around the block, boy wonder. Top secret mission by special birthday request.
To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Oh my God.
You get pulled over.
See, this is a swing set.
Yes, we were out. That is.
Here, license and registration.
Listen, officer. It's actually my little brother's birthday tonight. I actually work in a garage back in Philly, and I'm taking him out.
Well, you're not back in Philly now, are you, weirdo? What's your license?
Atomic battery to power.
Not now, Robin. Sir, I can't seem to find it.
So, no license, huh?
Maybe you left it back at the cave.
Let me see your registration.
There you go.
What's his problem?
I think we're gonna go downtown, Andy.
All right, jail. Wait till those criminals take a look at us when we come walking in. I bet you're glad you're wearing that cape now, huh?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wait till those criminals get a look at us. You glad you're wearing that cape now, huh? Yeah, thrilled.
Didn't they let you drive the car home for a weekend or two?
No, we drove it. We drove it.
It was in our house for a minute.
Yeah, it was.
in the
We
traffic.
drove it home for the week.
Of course it was.
That was fun times. I want to talk about chemistry read.
Yeah.
I want to go back. Can you grab that
Andy
poster?
almost didn't get that because
I almost didn't get it because
Macaulay Culkin wanted it.
I did a movie.
You know what?
I did a movie.
This kid's
the
amazing.
poster, the big poster, Matt. The
Are you
one.
serious,
Yeah,
man?
bro. Just show that one to the camera.
You want me to grab this?
yeah.
Andy's
simple.
It's
Andy's
simple.
just coincidentally brought it down here so everybody
Well, this is
can
my
see it.
studio,
One of
so I
his
need.
greatest
I
movies.
like to look at this. I remember. I want to.
Andy, this is actually heavy.
Oh, come on, Matt. You got it. You're
Real glass just breaks on you.
Matt, just turn it towards the camera.
Really? You think so?
There you go. There you go. Can you see the reflection? Point it down. Angle the top down a little bit. There you go. So that's me and me. Little movie I did called The Other Me. Just kidding. No, so my good
We're
buddy.
all talking about stuff we've done
No,
together. and you bring up a movie you did with
I
you.
want to talk about this chemistry.
No, you
read.
and you.
Matt, don't put it back that way. You're going to scratch the glass.
Oh yeah,
What are you doing? Turn it around.
that was such a brother move.
Matt, maybe we should hang that up behind you.
Ah, we should.
Anyway, I remember in the audition for that, my good buddy Alan Sachs produced it, who
Just recently passed
who
away.
Recently passed away. And it makes me bummed out. He was great. He did Welcome Back, Kotter. He did a bunch of stuff. Camp
Mr.
Rock.
Cat, I can't even believe it.
He was a big part of the Jonas Brothers and their careers, and he was a great guy. Anyway, he produced The Other Me, and I remember in the audition, because I was playing two people, I'm not the only one that has done this, but I remember I impressed him, and I think what won me the role was I did the audition scene with myself, so I actually learned both sides of the scene, and I would
cool.
talk, and
You
then I would
columned it.
Yeah, I would Gollum, and I'd turn, and I had a slightly different personality and stance, and kind of anyway. So a cadence to define both of the characters, and I think that
cool.
stood out.
That's cool.
And he always told me that really impressed him.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
and then anyway, so in this movie, I do what people always find, or the people that have seen it get a kick out of this cafeteria dance.
Oh yes.
Thing that I do, and honestly, I was not like I don't like to dance. I'm a wallflower. I like to hide behind instruments and stuff. And I remember when they were teaching me this dance.
You were almost in the band, the Wallflower.
I almost actually. Yeah,
It
but
was
when
a chemistry thing.
It was
You
a
didn't
thing.
make it.
Chemistry.
You did a chemistry.
I tried to
play.
do it with myself, and they were
Chemistry
like, "This guy's
play, and they were like,
insane."
this guy is not gonna work in the band.
But no, so I remember when I was doing the choreography, they were teaching me it. They were like trying to pull it out of me, and I wasn't quite getting it. And then somebody, I think Mom was like, "Be Joey, impersonate Joe." I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah, because for some reason that was the note that got me to learn this choreography dance.
Make a complete fool of yourself and do it really, really, really over the top.
Exactly. No, but yeah, it's like, be your brother. Do what your brother would do.
So this is you doing an impersonation of Joe?
Pretty much.
I'll have to show my music video afterwards to see if he did it. Look at that boombox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely Joe right
This
there.
is Joe right here, right? Dancing on tables. Oh yeah, super hip.
Is this in sync?
It is
Sounds
for a
like
Disney
it.
Channel movie. Yeah.
Mine. It sounds like JC.
It is. Definitely.
I wonder where this dude is. He's got to be around somewhere, dancing on tables. Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's like a real dancer guy. He knows what he's doing. You can always tell. Yeah.
It's great though. Like,
Yep.
bring in the fun.
Why not have a full-on
Dance off in the
cafeteria
cafeteria.
dance routine? Classic.
Classic Disney.
That's my Allison Pill. She works a lot. She's fantastic. She played my sister. She's done a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
What year
All
was this, Andy?
Anyway, gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
2000.
2012?
No. 2002.
2008?
No.
Two?
2000. 2012.
I don't know. What
You
year
were
are we
20 years old.
No.
You would have a real problem, man, if this was movie shot
You
in
were
2012.
27.
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. Let me think.
Real late bloomer. Real late bloomer. And he didn't really grow up.
He played a little
He
younger
didn't grow up
than his
until
actual
he hit his
age.
30s. That's Andy age.
Oh, God, this is years ago. 2012?
2002, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought it was
I think it was.
2002.
I added a 1 instead of a 0. I got confused. Oh gosh!
Terrible.
What a 27
Yeah, that movie has been, I think, banned by.
This is where we
Oh,
learned it from right here.
Yeah.
Of course. This is where we learned it from, not the tagging. That was Matt. Matt learned how to tag from this video.
Whoa!
Here we go. That's
Look at
not
this. That is you.
me. No, it's not. There's me.
Wow. That's a cool shot, actually, with that sunset.
You know, Scott Calvert directed this music video.
Yep,
He
that's
directed
right.
Basketball Diaries
Yeah, it looks kind of like it.
and a bunch of
honestly.
other great movies. But like, yeah, this was a very good director.
You still have that ring? You any of these jackets? You got anything?
I do have a jacket and that flannel. Look so sad tonight. Yeah. Living in the world these days, bud. Here we go. Woo!
Hey, the
Love
birds.
for you, baby. You guys are both in this. Of course, I put you guys in everything. Where
Can't
were
believe
we?
you're running on the beach.
in Venice. In Venice.
That's when you could still swim in the water.
Oh.
No, you could. You could.
That's a cool jacket. I remember that jacket. Where's that one?
I have that
the
jacket.
Harley one?
Yep. I have that jacket.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. What a great day that was. That was so
awesome.
much fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
Again,
it.
like
The spinny thing, I remember.
oh yeah, the gyrosphere.
I wanted to go
whatever
in
it's
it, and they
called.
wouldn't
Yes.
let me.
Guys, I got so sick in that thing. I got so sick in that thing. There was this thing in the video where
Oh,
they put
yeah.
us in this. Oh my gosh, I was so
Those
sick
things
in
are
it.
tough.
Yeah, it was so cool though. I remember I got to. It was such a neat experience to be able to do a music video like when they were still making real music videos, like real
Mm-hmm.
directors, real budgets. You know, like it was a real production for the day, and it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun. But I still have that leather jacket. Mm-hmm. I do.
Wow.
I do.
Wow.
Yep. Crazy, man.
So many memories, guys.
So many memories. Yeah,
So many
that came out
memories.
in 93. So 32 years ago. Jeez.
Matt had a table dancing scene. Didn't you dance in Mrs. Doubtfire on the table?
He danced in Mrs. Doubtfire. Yes, you did.
There's actually interesting stories.
Yeah, you actually
behind
danced in Hot Chick too, didn't you?
it. No.
Oh, yeah, that was a
Little
good
gold-
one.
No, guys, I
Little
didn't.
gold
You're in the
weenie
wrong movie.
No, Hot Chick, you were in a
You were in a
G-string.
weenie bikini in the locker room. Yes, you were.
Oh, no. Was that
Wrong movie,
the
guys.
comebacks?
Anyway,
Oh,
yes.
the comebacks.
Either way.
Oh, yeah.
It's the wrong movie, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I've done so many. I know it's hard for you to confuse them.
Exactly what I was thinking. No.
In the Hot Chick,
no,
in the comebacks, is
yeah,
what you wore
anyway.
a little gold
yeah.
banana hammock, and you loved it. You wanted to wear it. What were you going to say? Go ahead, say it. Oh gosh, we interrupt each other all the time.
Yeah, the dance scene in Miss Doubtfire that Andy was talking about
Yeah.
is the crazy thing is that I don't know if you remember this,
I don't.
but we were trying to get your song in the movie.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
right? Yes.
Because Chris was so cool. He came up to me and was like, "What? You're a kid. What music at your party would you want to be dancing
That's
to?"
amazing.
And I said, "Well, my older brother makes music, and I like dancing to his music." So he was like, "Okay." And so they were actually trying to figure it out, and we were going through your tracks, and we were going through and figuring it out, and then there was a clearance issue, dude.
Jeez.
There was a clearance issue. A writer there was like some issue with one of your tracks that they
sure.
wanted to use.
Sure.
And it wasn't that they maybe couldn't. It's just the amount of time that we had wasn't open enough.
Wow.
And so, no joke, I had heard this song on the radio, and I was like, they were like, we're having trouble clearing. Is there anything else? And I was like, well, there's this song called "Jump Around." It's coming.
Right.
That's the one they used.
That's amazing. Yeah. I don't know whether it was one of the producers. It's possible. Dr. Freeze produced "Nothing My Love Can't Fix."
They were like,
and he had produced "Color Me Bad," so he was like a big producer.
there was something they were trying
so maybe,
to like.
you know,
They just needed signature, and so they were going through the process, and the process was just going to take too long to clear.
And you want to hear something funny? That's very interesting that you say that, because I'm sure that movie came out and was a huge hit, and whoever held that up was probably like, dang, that would have been awesome exposure for the song that I produced or whatever. I mean, I wrote it, or co-wrote it, but anyway, that they ended up putting "Nothing My Love Can't Fix" on a movie that
Burt Reynolds
was not a hit movie called "Cop and a Half" with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
"Nothing My Love Can't Fix" was over the end credits
for that,
of that movie. Yeah. So instead of putting it on a perennial classic like Mrs. Doubtfire, they put it on "Cop and a Half."
Yeah. What year was that?
Same year, 94. It came out in 94.
Okay,
the following year.
You see what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so
as I'm piecing it together, they probably were like, "Oh shit, get us on a movie," and they're like, "We got this movie, Burt Reynolds, perfect."
They were probably going through the process,
Yes.
and then it opened. Whoever this was, that was the last
At MCA
person
Records or whatever
to clear it
and
for
the
music. And then
producer-
they're like, "Well, now that we started the process, let's clear it.
put it on something.
Put it on something."
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
Isn't that weird?
I know.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I forgot that actually.
Yeah.
I vaguely do remember that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It was at that point, to the point where
Point to the point. No
where
bacon,
when I
cooking MCs.
reconnected with Chris, because I didn't really. I stayed in touch with a lot of the cast, but Chris I didn't really stay in touch with as much until like I ran back into him when he was doing Rent in New York.
Oh, the movie?
The movie, yeah. Sorry, not yeah. But they were shooting it. In New
No,
York.
he was in it.
And they were doing
Christopher
the casting.
Columbus?
They were doing the casting.
Big Broadway guy.
He had his people call up my people because he remembered that you were a singer.
Oh.
And that's how he called me back in, because he knew that you were a singer and we were singers. So he wanted to see me for Rent, although you didn't get me the role.
I wouldn't worry about it.
He calls me into it. And I'm like, wow, this could be fun, right? And I'm like, hi, we're
All I'm
buddy.
gonna say is
I
this.
didn't get the role.
I wouldn't worry about it. Chris has done some great work.
Oh my
Incredible.
gosh.
Rent was not good.
Unfortunately,
Not good.
when I saw it, I was like,
Terrible.
wow.
It wasn't very good.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
No, it was
I actually
bad.
forgot that about
It
that
was
movie.
so bad.
He directed
But honestly,
that movie.
that
You know
happens
why
a
it was
lot.
so bad? It wasn't that it was bad.
I don't know.
He filmed the stage show.
Yeah.
So it was like it was more like a documentary of the stage show.
Honestly, I think
And
like
you're
they
like,
make. I honestly think
this
they,
isn't a real movie.
Yeah, I honestly think they make so many times. Well, first of all, they've forgotten how to make musicals. They really have forgotten how to make them.
See, I thought
They should just watch Grease
I thought
and do
Baz
that over
Luhrmann's-
and over and over.
Elvis take with Austin.
Baz Luhrmann's great.
I didn't mind.
Moulin
that.
Rouge
That
was great
pretty
too,
good.
though. So
I
he
think his
didn't
takes
mind
on
that.
musicals.
he has an
Yeah,
interesting. He has
I
an
didn't
interesting
mind
take that
that.
is good.
Because
It's
he
unique.
put some other
It's good.
twist or he put some other teeth on it. So it's
pretty
not just
cool.
like, oh, here we go. We're breaking into a song in the middle of this real moment that never happens in real life. And for me, it always takes me out of the movie unless there's a hook, unless there's a Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Or what they put like this like funk modern kind of spin on Elvis. It worked for me.
Yeah,
It
Elvis
worked for
was-
me. I liked
I
it.
didn't mind Elvis.
I liked it.
You know, I didn't mind it, but to me, yeah. I mean, but you go back and you watch some of the classic like musicals. They don't know how to make them anymore. I mean, American in Paris and
Oklahoma.
Anchors Away and
Remember Oklahoma?
Oklahoma. Yeah,
That is a
it's a
musical.
great one. Yeah, yeah,
With
that was
little
great.
Thing. The
Summer-
bad guy puts the thing in
Summer
the
Stock.
thing, and then
Summer Stock. I mean,
the eye.
these movies. You know, Singing in the Rain. I mean, guys, they don't know how to make these movies anymore. They just don't. So to
Well,
me, so many of them get lost. Like The Heights. That was really bad.
What was that?
The Heights. It was in the Heights. Thank you, Sam. What's his face? Who did that? The guy with the three names. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah. Yeah. But didn't he direct it?
Yes. No.
Oh, he didn't?
Oh,
that's
right.
It didn't work.
Right.
It didn't work, in my opinion.
No.
They tried to do West Side Story.
Yeah.
The new version of it didn't work.
Excellent movie.
Was it? Do you like it?
Have you seen it?
The new one? I liked it. It wasn't as good as the original, I didn't think, but
I think it's incredible.
wow. All right, Steven Spielberg, kiss ass. Our producer clearly is trying to get a job.
I'm getting my angle in here.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen it, so I
It's
can't
okay.
pass judgment.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't as good as the
Joe,
original.
did you even see it?
I did see it on a plane, actually.
See, I didn't.
Well,
I
that's
didn't,
not
I
a
didn't
place
see
to
it because
watch
I
it.
didn't even enjoy the original.
You didn't?
No, I'm not. When I say like,
I want to be an American.
no,
That's great.
No, like I literally tune out, and it actually.
When you're a jet.
In fact, I not only tune out, it ruins the movie for me 95% of the time.
What?
Because I'm actually into the movie and then break into a musical. and I'm like,
yeah. But Grease was sick.
You know who does it? You know who does it really
on a
well?
whole different level.
Who doesn't get credit
I don't know
for
how
it?
they did it.
Here's why though. The music was good.
So good, dude.
They break into these musicals these days, and these songs are crap. I'm sorry, but they're crap.
Yeah.
And I don't want to listen to like somebody sing about the scene, and it just kills me, man. I can't handle it.
Do you know who does it?
Can't handle it.
Time and time again.
You're right. Grease. Oh my gosh,
dude, it's one of the best.
I don't even. In fact,
it's such a good movie.
It's crazy with Grease because the musical numbers stand on their own.
I know.
And the movie stands on its own.
Well, that's the
so
thing.
when you put the two of them together, you're like,
and
oh,
somehow
this works.
They didn't fall into the trap of the play. Because let me tell you something, that play had been done. That play had been done so many times, and the movie was better than the play.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Way better.
The movie was
like
perfect example. Do you remember the way but do you remember the way they also went into musical
Stranded
numbers?
at the drive-in.
You know what doesn't get
He
it?
was alone, and it was in his head,
Yes.
and you could actually still put yourself
They did
there.
that with Grease Lightning too. Of
course.
That was not the way they popped out of that.
Summer
it was-
Lovin'?
Oh,
You know what doesn't get enough
It
credit?
started.
You know what doesn't get enough?
What about Beauty School Dropout?
Oh,
when it was
my.
all in her imagination, the lights.
dude?
Beauty School Dropout, Beauty School Dropout. No imagination, no graduation day for you. Beauty School Dropout, Beauty School Dropout.
You know what doesn't get enough credit? Grease 2.
Oh god.
No, I'm just kidding. You know who does it time and time again?
Adrian, what was the guy? The guy who was like the kind of the Danny Zuko guy. Adrian.
I don't remember. Do you know who does it time and time again?
Michelle Pfeiffer, dude.
Dude, she's-
so it was not good though.
Do you know who does it time and time again and doesn't get enough credit?
What?
Disney. Disney, most of their movies are musicals and they are fantastic.
You're right,
They
Ann.
rock. Like the Moana and Coco and like all these.
Yeah, you're right.
They are
They do
fantastic.
work.
The
They do
animated
work.
ones? Yeah, they work.
They Lion King. I
Oh,
mean, dude, we're
that's-
talking about like these are the
Yeah.
and they've done it for decades and they don't get enough credit because they actually Frozen. I mean, these movies
Beauty and
are
the Beast.
dude. No, but I'm talking about like
Aladdin.
modern. Of course, all the classics. But even modern, they are.
Under the sea.
I mean, dude.
Under
There you go.
the sea.
Doesn't get enough credit. When you think about musicals,
take it from me.
sure they're animated, but they're amazing.
No, work all day. And then the sun slip away. Oh, God. Dude, but these, okay, but these are, tale as old as time.
Oh my gosh.
Tune and say the least, both a little scared. Oh my God, dude. These are like beautiful. Beauty and the Beast.
I could show you the world.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, sideways and under on this magic carpet ride. Oh, new world.
Matata.
That's incredible.
Hakuna Matata.
Now, these are like incredible songs, though, man. You gotta have
no
Alan
worries.
Menken and those guys. Woo, did they write some good tunes?
And you're talking about, okay, Lion King, you're talking about Hans Zimmer and Phil
Dude,
Collins.
I know.
I mean, this is, you can't compare
Dude, I know.
or
That's
compete
unbelievable.
with these people to people doing the musical
But honestly,
today.
yeah,
I-
even
like,
let
what?
it go, let it go.
Oh yeah, let it go, let it go.
I love those movies, man. They rock.
Yep.
Dude, Shrek?
Oh, but that wasn't.
Super
that Disney?
No, I'm just saying animation and musicals.
Yeah, but that wasn't really as much of a musical.
Just say
Shrek.
it loud enough,
The musical numbers are
cautious.
I don't know if there's musical numbers in that movie.
What?
Shrek. Yeah, but I don't know if they're.
They do sing,
They don't
In
do original music and stuff for that movie.
but it's
They have like Smash Mouth and
but they
was-
have like massive musical numbers in the movie.
world is gonna roll me.
Didn't that guy just pass
Ain't
away?
a proper stool in the shed. And I said, yep, what a concept. I could use a little bit myself. Oh, use a little change. You stop coming and they don't stop coming. And they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Don't stop
Coming and they don't stop coming. Ain't stop in the head gets dumb. So what's to do? So what's to take? What's wrong with taking the back streets? Oh, you never know if you don't go. Hey, you never shine if you don't go. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on, go. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Hey, thank you so much for joining us on a walk down memory lane here on the Brotherly Love Pod.
30-year anniversary.
We appreciate you so much for sticking with us over the years, and much more to come. We'll see you next Friday and every Friday.
Right here.
Forever.
Like and subscribe.
Right here.
Like and subscribe on our YouTube, everybody. Keep
much
it growing.
Love, good vibes.
Have a great
Thank
weekend.
You very much.
God bless, guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? The Lawrence brothers are here. Thank you so much for enjoying this week's episode of the Brotherly Love Pod.
And if you want more of this show, check out our premium feed on Supercast.
That's right, where you'll see ad-free episodes, monthly AMAs, behind-the-scene content, and so much more.
That's brotherlylove.supercast.com to join.
Check out our link tree and subscribe on all platforms.
We'll see you all
next week.